One day, you stop texting first, and suddenly, nobody notices you anymore. The saddest truth about human relationships is that many people only notice your value after you disappear. While you are always available, always replying, always caring, people slowly begin taking your presence for granted. Your kindness becomes normal to them. Your effort becomes invisible, and your silence becomes the only thing that finally gets their attention. Modern society created a strange type of loneliness. Humans are surrounded by people constantly, yet emotionally. Many feel completely alone inside. Some people haven't felt truly understood in years. Others smile every single day, while silently fighting emotional pain nobody notices. And the hardest part is, most people continue pretending they are okay because they believe nobody truly cares anyway. Psychology explains that humans naturally adapt to whatever stays available for too long. Attention loses value when it becomes constant. This is why people often ignore those who care the most. Until one day, that person becomes distant, quiet, emotionally exhausted, gone. And suddenly, everyone notices the absence they once ignored. Humans often realize emotional value through loss, not presence. This is one of the darkest parts of human psychology. Many people do not appreciate loyalty while they still have it. They only understand it after it disappears completely. Some people spend years giving emotional energy to others, checking on people, supporting them, listening to their problems, sacrificing their own peace quietly. But when they finally become emotionally tired themselves, they realize something painful. Nobody ever asked if they were okay too. This creates silent emotional exhaustion, a loneliness hidden behind functioning normally. People continue smiling publicly, while internally feeling emotionally abandoned. The truth is, many humans are loved for what they provide emotionally, not for who they truly are. Some people are valued only because they give attention, others because they give attention, others because they solve problems, others because they stay available constantly. But very few people are genuinely understood deeply, and maybe that is why emotional emptiness feels so common today. Humans crave connection desperately, yet fear vulnerability at the same time. Everyone wants to feel understood, but very few people truly open their mind honestly. Psychology teaches that emotional pain becomes strongest when someone feels invisible emotionally, not physically invisible, emotionally invisible, feeling unheard, unnoticed, replaceable. Some people can sit in a room full of others and still feel completely alone inside their own mind. Social media made this even worse. People now chase attention instead of connection. Likes replace conversations. Notifications replace emotional intimacy. Online validation creates temporary happiness, but rarely creates real emotional fulfillment. This is why many people feel empty even while surrounded by digital attention. Another painful truth about humans is that many people only become curious once you emotionally detach. When you stop replying quickly, stop chasing, stop over explaining, stop trying to keep everyone happy, people suddenly notice your absence because humans often ignore consistency until it disappears. The human brain naturally notices change more strongly than stability, and sometimes silence speaks louder than years of effort ever could. This is why emotionally exhausted people slowly become quieter over time, not because they stopped caring, but because they became tired of feeling emotionally unimportant. Some people spend years trying to earn love by sacrificing themselves for others, but real connection cannot survive through self destruction. Psychology also explains that childhood experiences deeply shape emotional attachment later in life. People who grew up feeling emotionally ignored often become adults who overgive emotionally. They constantly seek validation, reassurance, emotional security, because deep inside, they fear abandonment more than anything else. This fear silently controls relationships. Overthinking increases. Anxiety grows stronger. Emotional dependence develops quietly. And sometimes people lose themselves completely while trying to avoid loneliness. But loneliness is not always about being physically alone. Sometimes loneliness is being surrounded by people who never truly understand you emotionally. And maybe that is one of the most painful feelings a human can experience. Modern humans are emotionally tired, tired of pretending, tired of fake conversations, tired of feeling replaceable, tired of hiding emotional pain behind normal daily routines. Some people laugh loudly in public, then cry silently at night. Others stay constantly busy, simply because silence forces them to face emotions they are trying to escape. The human mind can hide pain surprisingly well, but hidden pain never truly disappears. It slowly changes behavior instead. People become quieter, more distant, less emotionally expressive, less trusting, because disappointment changes humans deeply. Another dark truth about emotional pain is that many people never explain what hurt them. They simply change silently. One day, they stop texting first, stop opening up emotionally, stop trying to stay close, and eventually, they disappear emotionally without saying anything at all, sometimes permanently. And then people finally ask, why did they change? But often, the answer existed long before the silence began. Humans rarely break instantly. Emotional exhaustion happens slowly, quietly. Repeated disappointment, repeated neglect, repeated emotional loneliness, until eventually, the mind gives up trying. But psychology also teaches something hopeful. Humans heal when they finally feel emotionally safe. Real connection does not require perfection. It requires honesty, presence, understanding. And maybe the rarest thing in modern society is finding someone who genuinely listens without judgment. Because sometimes people are not asking for solutions. They simply want to feel understood emotionally. Maybe that is why emotional connection feels so powerful. It reminds humans they are not completely alone inside their own mind. And maybe the people who disappear quietly were simply tired of feeling invisible for too long. Subscribe to Silent Theory for more deep psychology and emotional human behavior videos.